here. My name is Helen. I am a master KonMari consultant, and I love making videos on intentional living as well as mindful consumption. If that sounds good to you, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and come join in on the conversation. Today, I am teaching the KonMari consultant course, and I have a little bit of time before we start, and everything is set up, so I thought, why not record a video? And I was thinking about this conversation I had recently with one of my clients. So my client was asking me if it was okay that she is a minimalist in most areas in her home, but not in her clothing. And I said, yes. I said, the KonMari method isn't about becoming a minimalist. It's nothing like that, but it's about finding the right amount for you. And that right amount sometimes can be considered a little and sometimes can be considered a lot, and either is okay. So it's just about finding all the things that sparks joy for you and keeping only those things and letting go of all the excess and all the things that doesn't spark joy. And so then my client asked me, well, are there any areas where you are a minimalist and other areas where you are not? And I said, definitely. And so today I want to share 5 areas where I'm a minimalist in my life and 5 areas where I am not. So let's start with the 5 areas where I would consider myself a minimalist. And the first area I would say is clothing, and that includes things like handbag and accessories. I really don't enjoy having a lot of clothes. I have this app that I use where I track what I wear every day, and it kind of helps me see what I'm wearing, what I'm not, as well as the cost per wear. And I notice when I like something, I want to wear all the time. Like all the time, multiple times a week. I would wash the item and wear it again if I could. I typically have somewhere between 30 and 50, and it always fluctuates. I'm always adding things. I love fashion, but I'm always letting things go too. So it's not really a one in, one out. I don't have such a rule, but it's really just about what I'm feeling at the moment. And for accessories, there's a lot of things where I only have one of. Like I have one belt, one bracelet. I made a video about that, so I will link it above. And the second area I would consider myself a minimalist is my makeup and skincare. I am very minimal. I don't use a lot of makeup. I don't use a lot of skincare. I don't have like a 7-step, 10-step skincare. It's hardly a 3-step skincare, to be honest. It's probably a 2-step. I wash my face and I moisturize it, and that's really about it. I really don't have a lot of excessive products. I might try face mask here and there, but I always try to finish the one I have before buying another one. I also try to finish the one I'm using before I even open a second one, so that I'm not like having a bunch of products in rotation. Because I find sometimes with makeup and skincare, once you open it, there is a shorter expiry date. The third area where I would consider myself a minimalist is my beddings and towels. So I have like one hair towel. We have maybe 5 bath towels. And then when it comes to our bedding, we currently have one sheet for our queen size bed, and we have one duvet, which we use year round, and one duvet cover. And my husband does the laundry. When we wash it, he makes sure he washes it in the morning, so then he can dry everything and put it back on the bed by the time we go to bed. And I have one pillow, one pillowcase. Like everything is very minimal. And we have one set that we use for our guests. And towels, the same thing. Generally speaking, we will reuse towels for a few days before it's washed and dried and put back in the washroom by the end of the day. The only exception to the towels is anything other than what we would use in a bathroom. So for example, cleaning towels and kitchen towels. But I will try to stay on topic and continuing on with the 4th area where I'm a minimalist, which are sentimental items. I am not a very sentimental person. I do have some sentimental items. One of my oldest sentimental item is a teddy bear that I've had since I was maybe 5 or 6. I think it was a kindergarten graduation gift from the teacher. Like everybody got one in the class, I remember. And I love this little bear, and I still have it. It still sits on the shelf in my bedroom. But other than that and some photos, I can't really think of many sentimental items. I just really don't have that much. And the last area where I'm a minimalist is anything to do with like fragrance. So my personal perfume, candles, and things like that. I have one perfume. I love the Thé Noir 29 from Le Labo, and that's the only one I have. I don't buy other perfumes. I just love it so much. I figured when I'm tired of it, that's when I'll switch to something else. And with candles, I am not as loyal per se. I do try different fragrance from different brands that I like, but I try to only have one candle going at a time. So unless another one's been given to me as a gift, I don't go out and buy a second scented candle for myself. Now let's talk about the 5 areas where I am not a minimalist. So the first area where I'm not a minimalist is my dinnerware. I was trying to think about how to call this category, but I have a collection of plates and bowls from Hermes, and are they necessary in my life? No, because I do also have other plates and bowls that we use every day. And I don't really differentiate. I'm calling it every day, but it's not really every day because I use everything every day, right? I don't save my Hermes chinaware for special occasions. I do use it every day. And the other stuff that we have a set of, I think they're beautiful too, just basic white plates, bowls, and things like that. I love them. They're from Crate and Barrel, and they all match, and we love them. We use them every day. So the only difference, I guess, is where I store them, because I keep the Hermes collection in a in a more secure safety spot, whereas the other ones were a little bit rougher with it. For our utensils, in our cutlery drawer, I think we have 6 sets. That works out really well for us. And aside from that, when we have guests, I also have 2 extra sets of 4. So I have an additional 8 set of cutlery that we use when we have guests. So for those reasons, I think when it comes to dinnerware, I can host a dinner party for a lot of people, and that's why I would not consider myself a minimalist in that area. The second area where I'm not a minimalist is tea-related things. I just have all kinds of tea things, and I do have a lot of tea leaves. They're all being acquired in the last 2 years, I would say. I think my love for tea really grew. I've always loved tea, but it really grew when I went to Taiwan last year, and I was introduced to the beautiful world of Taiwanese oolong tea by my uncle there. And I just love it so much that I actually recently enrolled in a program to study to become a tea sommelier, and I'm loving it. But of course, every time I enroll in another course, I get a box of tea, and so I have a lot of tea and different tea samples from different regions around the world, and I just love it. The third area in my home where I'm not a minimalist is art. As you can see behind me on the walls, there are a lot of art, and there is a lot of art everywhere in my home, including my bedroom, the hallway, everywhere, every wall. I don't think we have any space that where we can add more artwork. I guess we could if we really want to squish everything, but right now I think it's the perfect amount. We've always loved art, and my husband's an artist as well, so a lot of these photographs behind me, like this one and that one, are his work. He has a lot of artist friends, photographer friends, and sometimes they trade artwork and give each other artwork. So we do also have a lot of artwork that are from our friends in Calgary. When you come to my house, it's kind of like an art gallery of local Calgary artists, which is pretty cool. I really enjoy that. It really reflects our life here, and there's also some pieces that I made that I'm proud of that are on the walls. The fourth area in my home where I'm not a minimalist, I was thinking about this, and I'm going to say pantry type food, because I do like to stock up on food and I do shop at Costco, and I feel like that is something that's very unminimalist to do. So I don't like, I have these 2 bins in my pantry that are just for the extras, and I always make sure we have a stock of pasta sauce, pasta, cereal, and flour. We bake a lot, and sugar. And yeah, I'm just not a minimalist when it comes to food. Some people, they like to just buy what they need for that day. We do go to the grocery store a lot, but we buy both the things that we need every day, and also we stock up on things that doesn't go bad, especially when it goes on sale. So the last area that I don't consider myself a minimalist is kind of a broader subcategory, but I'm going to subcategorize it as miscellaneous household tools. And that would include things like painting supplies, things that you would use just for general repairs, little tools. I don't know, we just have like a lot of things like that. On the top shelf of my linen closet, it's all filled with just these extra like tools, painter's tapes, and those pads that you would put on the chairs. A lot of those things are just, they're kind of just in case. They're not really things we need right now because we're not using them. They're just kind of stock up or leftover paint supplies from before. When it comes to stuff like that, I like to have some on hand. I don't want to have too much. So my rule of thumb is, I give myself a space limitation if it fits in that space, and if it's well organized, and if I need something like an anchor or nails or hanging supplies for all the different art that we have, then at least I know where to go get it. All right, so those are the 5 areas where I'm a minimalist and 5 areas where I am not. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I would love to know, where are you a minimalist and where are you not a minimalist? I would love to know that in the comments. And until next time, choose joy, live well.